Good morning. We are here today with Sebastiano Sali. He is the community manager of the OAPEN Foundation, and we are here in the Square of Science and Universities. It is a pleasure to keep receiving friends here to discuss very interesting topics. And Sebastiano here, he's just giving a talk about open science and how there is no science without books in the world. And good morning.
Good morning.
How are you here?
Very good, thank you.
Is it your first time here in the Book Fair of Madrid?
It is my first time at the Madrid Book Fair, and it is also my first time in Spain, and obviously in Madrid. And it was a very pleasant surprise. I have to say the city has a great vibe, which I'm enjoying very much, and the book fair even more. The venue is beautiful, and it's a really vibrant environment with many fantastic editors and publishers. And I have to say also thanks to UNE for the invitation. We had a fantastic time together, and the panel was great. I think the contributors to the conference have all given very thorough and very insightful assessment of the open access books situation in Spain and in Europe. And I'm very happy to be here.
We are very happy to interview you and have you here in the square of the Science and the Universities. And to start the interview, and the first question is, how do you think open science and the traditional book, the book and paper, are going to live together, how they can coexist?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I think a question that many of us is currently asking, because of course when one thinks of open access most times is also thinking about online and non-paper formats. But I think the book, and to some extent also, to a large extent also, book fairs have a very important role, because the book is the concrete and the material element around which a community gathers to share and transports information around the world and around people. And despite these advancements in artificial intelligence or remote access and the possibility to do everything online, the open access world is very much a community of people that works for very strong values that we share. And therefore a book fair, which of course contains books, right, and showcases books, is exactly the place where one can, in a way, find the concrete example of what we do, and find, in a way, the natural element for which we work and for which we so passionately meet and put all our effort in advance open science, in advance open access, and make the world of science more equitable, more affordable, and more accessible.
Okay, so here in the panel you've talked about the directory of open access books. What is this? Can you explain us a little bit? Is it related to what you just talked about the open access of science?
Yes, of course. So the Directory of Open Access Book is a platform that is run by the OAPEN Foundation. The OAPEN Foundation is a non-for-profit foundation whose mission is to disseminate and support open access books publishing. The DOAB, the Directory of Open Access Books, is exactly a directory, which means that it receives metadata from university libraries, from editors, from researchers, and it stores them in its belly and makes sure that it's easier to find the books, the publications, the chapters that are contained in DOAB, to promote and support researchers to have their content and their publication more easily found, and to make sure that they spread as much as possible and that it's easier to access books, monographs, chapters, any kind of research that we want to promote it as open.
So it is a project that is really necessary in this environment. And we want to know as well if that translates to Europe. What's the situation in Europe of open science, and how do you find the rhythm of the countries involved in this development? Do you think ones are faster than the others? Or?
So we've recently concluded a very interesting project called Palomira, funded by the European Union, which involves 39 countries in Europe and their open access book publishing policies. And the result is, of course, diverse. I mean, in different countries are moving at a different speed with different policies. Of course, that relates to the availability of funding. Therefore, it is difficult to assess thoroughly the situation in Europe. It's, of course, diversified, but as the open access community is strong in each of these countries, we're very much working together to make sure that there is a steady advancement in the field of open access publishing books, yes.
Okay, so everything is more or less going at the same pace and everything is working together, no?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
But there are very interesting examples outside of Europe. I mean, the open access, as I said, because it's a community-driven effort, has the richness of proposing models that sometimes are completely different, and in this case, and I can relate to the Ibero-American panel that is going on right now, is for instance Latin America is able to offer models that in Europe we don't have, or not exactly, and therefore each different communities around the world has something to say and something to give in order to enrich communities in other parts of the world, which is also part of the beauty of working in open access publishing.
Yeah, it is very beautiful indeed, and we hope to, well, that in Spain and in Europe in general, everything develops at the right pace. And we repeat once again that we are happy to have you here talking with us.
Thank you.
We thank you as well, and we hope to see you next year here.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti.